So you just found out that you're going to be schooling at home. How do you keep sane? Why am I wearing two hats? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Lorianne. If you are not only looking for classroom management styles, approaches, tips, procedures, routines, but also strategies, resource ideas, and sometimes the odd vlog, you've come to the right place. In 2006, I took a position as a home support and online learning teacher. Now, I have never done either one of these things before, so you can imagine that the learning curve was pretty high. In fact, I would probably call it a vertical straight. And I had no idea that the homeschooling world was so big. It's never an easy thing to start something new, especially when you're not ready or prepared for it. Teachers spend a massive amount of time preparing for that first week, that first day of school. And as parents, you need to do the same. Maybe not massive. And even if you are already started, don't worry. These couple tips can be implemented right away. And honestly, the sooner, the better. For the sake of both of you, or several of you. So tip number 1 is expectations. This is something teachers work on literally all year, but during the first week or the first few times that students are in class, teachers are setting up the expectations of that room, and that is something you need to do. If you watched my other video, Getting Ready for Homeschooling, then you'll know that you need to set up this designated space. And once you're in that designated space, it is on for schooling. Quotes. This is from my grade 9 teacher. I still use it. You need to set up expectations. What is it expected? Are they expected to be sitting down at a certain time every day? Are they expected to be dressed? Are pajamas okay? Are they allowed to have food and water at the table? What is the expectation when they're in that designated space? And you can, with your children, create class rules. We do this in school all the time. There's nothing wrong with doing it at home. Make those rules together and then write them out or type them out and post them where everyone can see them. Now, in order to make these expectations and rules successful and working, is that you need to be consistent with following them through. Because if your child knows that they can break a rule and nothing is going to happen to them, then why would they follow them? And this is the same again in classes. They are going to try this. They are going to find where your fine line is and they're going to step over it. They might even jump over it. So you need to know what the consequences are going to be for them when they do it. And I didn't say if, I said when they break them. Because they will. They do it in class all the time. They're going to do it at home. Consistency is key. And the other tip that I give to all homeschooling parents when I meet with them, and sometimes they ask me to come back into their home because their child's not listening to them, and I go through the spiel, what I'm about to tell you, to them, and it works for most of them. And to me, it's like play the odds. If this is going to work most of the time, then let's do it. And that's where the hats come in. Now, we all know that as parents, as teachers, that we wear a lot of hats. But right now, there are only 2 hats that we need to be dealing with. We need to be dealing with the parent hat, and we need to be dealing with the teacher hat. And this is something you need to sit down with your children or your child and go over. You see, the big thing with kids going to school is that they don't have to see the changing of the hats on you because you're wearing your parent hat and I'm wearing the teacher hat. So it makes it easy. But now you are wearing both hats. And the children need to know when you are wearing that parent hat and when you are wearing the teacher hat. I took my class to this heritage school, and the teacher there, she had sent me this email ahead of time saying she was going to be mean to these kids because she wanted this to be as realistic as possible. The school was set up in about it was around World War I time. I want to say about 1914. And they had to sing God Save the King, not God Save the Queen. And they needed to, there was a couple other things that they had to do in the morning. And she went them through. And she warned me that she was probably going to have these kids cry. And I was like, ah. And she said, just bear with me and watch me do this. So I thought, okay. And sure enough, she was mean. She was tough. She was really tough with these kids. And they started to cry. And then she said something that I thought was this was impactful to me because this is where I really got this idea of wearing two hats. She said, she was wearing a pair of glasses, and she said, when I am wearing these glasses, I am Miss Davis. I think I'm just using a name. And I am the teacher. But once in a while, I will take off my glasses and I will be Mrs. Robertson. And so if you are upset and you are crying, I will take off my glasses and I will be Mrs. Robinson and I will comfort you. But when my glasses go on, it is school. And I thought, that's powerful. And the kids got it. And this was a grade 2-3 class. And so when I tell parents that you need to make sure that your children understand that there are two hats that you have to wear, the parent hat and the teacher hat. Likewise, the students, your children have to wear two hats. They have to be the student and they have to be the child. And when school starts, you've got your teacher hat on and they have got the student hat on. And when the school hats are on or the student hat is on, then you play by the school rules. Now, that's pretty much as far as I'm going to take this. You've got to try this out. And again, the more preloading that you do with your child, talking about expectations, rules, wearing of hats, we all have a job to do. One of the things I tell my class at the beginning of the year is, I've got a job to do, you've got a job to do. I am the teacher, you are the student. I will have teacher jobs, you will have student jobs. And this learning does not work unless both of us are doing our jobs. I say this to 6-year-olds and 5-year-olds, and they get it. I've said it to 14 and 15 and 16-year-olds, and they get it. It's a matter of, again, being firm and being consistent and follow through if someone chooses to not listen. And you've got to figure out what that is. Maybe you could even ask them, what kind of punishment or consequence should happen if you don't listen to me? And see what they say. Sometimes kids are tougher than what I would imagine. I've had kids say the hardest things, and I'm like, I would never do that to you, right? I had a child say, you can spank me. And I'm like, I'm not spanking you, no. So, anyways, if you have found some value in that, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you've got some questions or comments, please write them down below. I'd love to hear. I always try to reply to everything that is written down there. If you would like to see another homeschooling video, just again, drop a comment down below. Having worked with homeschoolers for 10 years, I have got oodles of information that I'd be happy to share. If you've got time later on, please check out the other video, Getting Ready for Homeschooling, as I mentioned. If you are a student teacher or a new teacher, there is a series on classroom management that is available. Some of them are online right now, and I will be uploading a few more in the next coming weeks. I hope you are having a great day. Stay safe, stay home if you can. We will see you in the next video. Take care.